Hello, and welcome to WSTB Clarksville, the informational video for St. Bethlehem United Methodist Church in Clarksville, Tennessee. My name is Richard Wesley. I'm the pastor of St. Bethlehem. I'm here today with our administrative assistant, Ashley Kettle. Hello, Ashley.
Hello.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
I see you're still working at home in your home office.
I just got back.
Yeah, just got back.
Anne's closet today, and
Yeah.
so,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
yeah.
We film these on Wednesdays, and this is the week for Anne's Closet, and you go up and help out in that, and I appreciate that. That's it's an important ministry, helping folks that may be food insecure and becoming more and more important in the crisis that our world is experiencing right now.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I wanted to talk to you just a moment about what's taking place this weekend at St. Bethlehem United Methodist Church. Sunday morning at 10 a.m. we have our devotional Zoom room. Now that's just a short devotion, and we spend a lot of our time in that 45 minutes just checking in on each other, seeing how you're doing, and since we're not experiencing in-person worship, it's an important way to stay connected. Then at 11 o'clock, we have our YouTube worship experience. Now, the links for both of those are in the e-blast that's sent out every weekend. If you don't have access to the e-blast, you can find the worship service on our website at www.stbumc.com. So you can find that. If you do not receive our e-blast and you're interested in receiving that, contact Ashley at the church office. The email there is stbumc@gmail.com. So you can be added to that list. Also, I want to remind you that I am asking for your input on how and when you would feel safe returning to the building for in-person worship. We have a task force that's working on that. The leadership team is working on that to approve a set of guidelines and looking at a time frame. We do not at this point have a set time on when we will return to the building, but it's something that we feel like we're getting possibly closer, and something we definitely, boy, there you go. We definitely need to be discussing that. So if you would send your input, just give us your thoughts. We would greatly appreciate it. We're very aware that we have an obligation to keep you safe, and we're committed not to returning until it's safe to do so, and then returning in a manner that is also safe. So we would appreciate your input. Also, on Wednesday evenings, we have a Bible study. We are finishing up the book of Romans and beginning to think, where do we go next? And I'll have some ideas about that to suggest in the Bible study Zoom room as well. Now, thinking back again to this Sunday's worship service, I will be bringing a message titled Spoken into Creation. This is week 2 of a series of sermons that I started last week. The series title is God's Creative Connection. We saw last Sunday, on Pentecost Sunday, how God, in a very creative way, made the good news of Jesus available and communicated that in an extraordinary way. And we discovered in that study last Sunday that this creative connection of God did not begin at Pentecost, but actually begins with the very beginning of time and existence itself. This Sunday, we're returning to that earliest record of God's involvement with this world in the creation story. So we're back in Genesis chapter 1, and we'll be looking at the story of the first creation story in Genesis, located Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 through chapter 2, verse 4. And so if you want to read ahead and get an idea on that. Ashley, in that worship service, we discussed earlier today in our planning time what hymns that we will have in that service. So what are we singing? Well, we're not singing, but what will we hear Margaret playing on either the piano or organ?
The first one is Morning Has Broken.
Morning Has Broken. I love that hymn. I love that hymn. You know, I first heard that hymn from Cat Stevens before I ever heard it at church. Yeah, nice. I love it. Yeah, I love it. Morning Has Broken. Okay, what's the other one?
All Creatures of Our God and King.
You know, that's one that just the music I can listen to for a very long period of time. I love the music in that hymn. And the words are good too, if you happen to know the words. So that'll be the two hymns that will be featured, if you will, in our worship experience this Sunday. Ashley, have we covered everything we need to let the folks know about today?
Nope.
What
Communion
else?
Sunday.
Oh,
Communion.
Thank you. Thank you. This is Communion Sunday. Yes. So at home, in order for you to participate in the communion experience, I would encourage you to have some bread. If you don't have bread, crackers will do. Have some bread and wine. Now that wine can be, it can be wine, it can be grape juice. In this unusual circumstance, use whatever beverage that you have at home that you feel comfortable with. If you don't have grape juice or wine and you want to substitute something else, please feel free to do that. But if you'll have that available Sunday morning at 11 o'clock when the worship experience begins, we will walk you through participating in Holy Communion during that worship service. All right. I think that covers everything we needed.
I think so.
I believe it is. Thank you for spending these moments with us and learning about what's taking place this weekend at St. Bethlehem United Methodist Church. We'll see you Sunday morning. All
right. Say goodbye, Richard.
Goodbye, Richard.
I wanted to wait.
Goodbye. Thank you, Ashley.
Yes.